Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. What is this video about? Well, we're going to do some Scratchy sampling in Live 12 and Max for Live. I'm going to get some samples, I'm going to scratch them about, and then I'm going to re-sample the scratches of those samples, slice them up, and maybe generate some interesting sort of patterns or rhythms based around those samples of those scratches. It's not really going to be anything compared to someone who is genuinely very good at scratching records on a turntable. It's just for fun, but that's kind of the sound that I'm going for. And in order to do this, I have created this morning this very nice Max for Live device exclusively for this video, which is just a very simple thing that you drop a sample in and then you can sort of scrub it, scratch it around, and it sort of does it randomly or it does it manually. So if you set it to auto and start the transport, it just sort of scratches around a sample like this randomly. You've got these different speeds for how it does it. You've got one speed for the... let me stop it a minute. You've got one speed for the overall position of where the playhead is. You've got a speed for how much it scratches around that position, and then you've got a speed for how often it's the amplitude of that signal goes into the sample in order to scratch it. So you can kind of play around with different combinations to... So if we go very fast on the scratch... Slow on the amp, that means that it'll sometimes come to a dead stop. Like that, which is kind of fun. It's very digital sounding. Wow. Okay. This is just a random female vocal sample. Hey, you can also make animal noises, that's nice. We can try faster. Yeah, that's kind of... It's not too bad. And then if you want, you can go to auto, you can go from auto to manual, and then you've got this little fader down here. You can sort of scratch around it however you want. Then there's this gain and position, and that is just sort of some attenuation and offset for the auto and the manual. So if we go to auto, you can sort of move the playhead around to specific places like that. And then the amount of gain for how much it's actually, all of the auto stuff goes in. And the same for the manual. So if I sort of have the gain very low and the position halfway, we're scratching very lightly around that point of the sample. And if we turn the position down a little bit, we're sort of scratching a little bit around that point of the sample. If I turn the gain up, then we're scratching a lot more widely around the sample. If you have the position at 0 and the gain at 1, this fader here, it matches exactly where the playhead is going to land. And there's a little bit of filtering on there so that it sort of smooths the signal a little bit. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly make a cool 808 loop. Let's go for 90 BPM, and let's just draw in like a kick drum, and then maybe a snare here, and another kick drum here, and then maybe some hats. Let's do some hats, and then let's click the hats, and let's randomize the velocity. Oh, it's done it on the... Is that done it? Yeah. Okay. And then let's come out of that. Let's listen to that. Oh, that's the open hi-hat. Hold on a moment. Hold on a minute. Let's get that. Go down to the closed hi-hat. Okay, cool. And then let's give it a bit of glue, bit of drive. Yeah, that's all right. All right, and then I'm just going to resample that here. Okay, that's fine. Delete that. We'll just use this sample. So now we've got this lovely sample of that 808 groove we just did. So now I'm going to put that in the scratches by Ned Rush. And all you need to do, this should work, is drag and drop that into drop something here. And now that's in there. And now when I hit auto and start the transport, it's going to start scratching around that. Well, this is already the best video I've ever made, really, isn't it? Okay, so you can hear how in places By the way, this is all synced to the transport. The transport needs to be running for all of this to happen. You can hear, whilst it's not always doing something, it's doing something sometimes that's pretty good, that's pretty useful. So we want to find those things. That's why we're going to resample it. So I'm just going to sort of play around with it and find, maybe pull the gain down a little bit. Increase the amp. Let's maybe put the position speed down a little bit. So maybe I could... Yeah, move it to so that I'm just sort of around that snare. Pull the gain down a little bit. Let's maybe come back a little bit. Okay, let's just see what this is like. Let's just record it doing something for a handful of bars. That was good. Let's do like 8 bars, maybe. Oh, 7 bars. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I can't stop that. It's not a clip. Oh, let's stop the transport. So I can look at this here and see that there's maybe sort of enough samples here that I could slice this into one instance of sampler. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go slice new MIDI track and I'm going to go slice by transient, slice to sampler. If you don't know how to do that, I've got a video somewhere. I will try and remember to post that in the comments or something about how to make a slice preset to slice to sampler. I'm going to hit OK. And now I've got all of those slices as little, little slices. Let's see, we've got, it's a little quiet. Maybe I can select all of these, right click, go normalize volumes. Very good. Oh, it's just doing that now. That must be an offline process. It's interesting. So now they're just maybe a little bit louder. That should help a bit. Still fairly quiet anyway. Let's persevere. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the zone editor and I'm going to select all the zones and I'm going to go to this forwards, backwards sustain mode here. And that will just basically ping pong the samples for as long as the sustain is down. It's sort of looping back and forth. Just to sort of... There we go. That's basically Rocket. There we go. We're remaking Rocket by Herbie Hancock. Some of them aren't that good. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's perfect. So now I'm going to kind of make like a sort of pattern that will just scramble around all these MIDI notes and then maybe it'll sort of make like a fun sort of rhythm or something. So the first slice is going to be at C1. Yeah. C1. So I'm going to draw in a long note here. Maybe make this 2 bars long and make that a little bit longer. And then I'm going to go and get some MIDI stuff. Let's just see. Oh, hang on. Let's mute that. Yeah, so you can sort of see here. You can see if you sort of look for the orange playhead, it's ping-ponging back and forth. So we're kind of doing that forwards, backwards kind of scrub thing, which is, I think is going to be quite effective. So let's go and get some MIDI effects. Let's go and get a chord. Just to give us like a random selection of slices, because I'm going to use an arpeggiator to play around lots of different notes to make sort of rhythms. So let's get the arpeggiator. Let's go into the global. Let's turn the filter off and then set the volume to 0 on this sampler here. See if that makes it a bit louder. Oh, a little clicky. So we'll put in a little bit of attack here. Let's maybe say 1 millisecond. A little bit of click on the way out as well. Let's maybe do 500 milliseconds release. Maybe some more attack. I think it's just maybe where it's not perfectly sliced it on the transient, but that's okay. Let's set this to 16th notes. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the chants, which is my favorite new thing on this chord thing. I'm going to give these all 50% chance that that voice is going to get included in the chord. So that one note in the MIDI clip here goes into this chord, makes a random chord, well, not a random chord, but it makes a chord with a 50% chance of each of these 6 voices being in the chord. And then the arpeggiator is going to index around that chord and make all the slices happen. But to make it a little bit more interesting, I'm going to get random. I'm going to put a random to randomize the root note that goes into the chord. Set that to 24. I don't know how many slices we've got. How many have we got? We've got quite a lot of slices. We've got about 66. So this should be fine. Let's turn the chants up. And then I'm going to get that random again, put that after the chord. So now we're kind of getting a random start position for the chord and a random voicing of the chord that goes into the arpeggiator and then triggers all the slices. Yeah. Let's bring that beat back. Oh no, it's this one. It's this one. Yeah. I'm going to put a limiter on my master, my main channel. Otherwise, someone will say, oh, you didn't put a limiter on there. And they were right. They would be right to do that. No, it's kind of not really doing much, but I think maybe we don't need too many choices on this one here. Let's just say 8 choices. And then let's get an expression control, the best thing ever that's ever been invented. Where is it? Let's get an expression control. Let's put an expression control at the start, and then we'll use the expression control to randomize the style of the arpeggiator. Let's go to random. Let's choose remote, click map, and then click style. Sometimes it's going to do things that we might not like too much, like the chord. Don't really need the chord thing, but yeah, it's all right. It's very rocket. Like and subscribe for my impression, my beatbox a cappella version of Rocket. So we could do some more things to sort of modulate the pitch of the slices even more. Maybe with these LFOs, we could maybe have like a very slow sine wave on the pitch, turn retrigger off, set this to sync, turn that down to something like 2 beats, and then dial that a little bit to the pitch so that it simulates the scratching getting more intense, but still in sort of the same position, as it were. I was going to plug in a turntable and sample myself actually scratching a record, but that was way too much effort for the level of this YouTube channel. When I get to 100,000 subscribers, I will do that. There we go. Some of them are maybe we need a little bit of filtering here. Let's turn the filter back on, turn the key tracking down, go to a high pass. Just filter out some of those lows a little bit. Maybe a bit of distortion. Maybe do some more pitch modulation. It's very subtle. It's very subtle at this point. beats in. Yeah, it doesn't sound 100% there, but it's not half bad, is it? You know, if you just wanted to put a little bit of this in a track somewhere just for fun. Although if you kind of wanted to try this with a different sound, we'd have to sort of start again from scratch. So actually, let's get that vocal sample. Let's get one of those vocal samples. Try it, or just try it with something else. Maybe I've got like a brass. I've got something in a brass. Have I got a brass folder? I thought I had like a sample of brass. So let's just try horn. Acoustic. Yeah, I've just got. Oh, that's nice. Let's put that in there. See what that's like. Okay, this is sort of like we're going to get different results because it's much more louder sound. That sort of drum loop thing I did, it's sort of nice because of the percussiveness. When you saw that do that sort of forwards backwards thing on a kick or a snare, that works pretty well. But it's a little sort of quiet. So let's try it with this horn thing. Yeah, okay, let's resample some of this. Okay, this time I won't do it via transients. I'll slice it into equal measures, because then when you do that forwards backwards thing, they're going to be kind of in tempo. You'll have to stay at the tempo that you're working at, 90 BPM in this case. So let's do that. Let's right click, go slice to new MIDI track. Let's go transient. Oh no, actually let's change it to sampler. And then for this time we'll go slice via eighth notes. Let's do eighth notes. That'll give us 64 slices. Okay. And then all we really need to do is just grab all of this stuff from this track, the MIDI effects, and just copy them over to here. Let's see if this works. Paste. And then make a clip here. Let's just copy this clip and see what this is. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's mute this. Okay. Okay. I feel like the pitch modulation is not... Ah, that's interesting. It didn't... Okay, we're going to have to apply the pitch modulation again and do the same things we did here. Put that to 0, put in something like 20 milliseconds. Oh, that's too much. 10 milliseconds, 5 milliseconds, 2 milliseconds, 1 millisecond, and maybe 100 milliseconds of release time. Turn the key tracking down on the filter, set it to high pass, put that there. All right. One voice as well, I think. One voice at a time. All right. That's sort of silly. Yeah. Okay, let's modulate the rate of the arpeggiator in the clip. Let's right-click that, go to show, automate it. Let's unlink it so we can detach it from the original length of the clip. Let's make it just slightly over 2 bars long. And then let's draw in a node here, and then maybe here I'll say go down to 8th notes for a little bit, then back, and then maybe here go down to 8th notes, and then here maybe go up to 32nd notes, and then here maybe down to a 1/4 note, and then maybe here up to an 8th note, and maybe here as well. Let's see what that's like. Let's apply that pitch modulation again. It's sort of kind of funny. I'm convinced that it will do something pretty badass eventually. Let's set this to... did I just really use the word badass? I've been watching too much Cobra Kai. Let's apply the pitch here. Let's set this to about 20%. It's very robotic. Robot scratch DJ. I think it's really all about the source material. Could also try playing with the transposition. Go down an octave. Go up an octave. This one's sort of become non-existent. Let's maybe try with the transposition on this one. We're sort of somewhere between a hybrid of scratch DJing and sampling scratch DJs and re-triggering them. Tiny little bit New Jack Swing. Maybe I should make a New Jack Swing video. That's all right. Yeah, sometimes it's just not really doing much, but sometimes it's pretty good, I think. We could get the crossfader out and crossfade between this one and this one. That's what it's all about. Actually, let's group these together. I've never done this before. What happens if you group tracks that are assigned to a crossfader? Let's go and get the O to T to TT and squash these very, very, very muchly. Put that on the group track. So are they all now summed to that group track? Oh yeah, they are. I suppose actually if I stop the clip that's on that's on B, I can just sort of fade the scratching track in and out. Make a scene here with all of this stuff. Okay, that's fun. Let's do like one more. Let's do one more, but we'll sort of scratch. We'll use the scratches thing here by ourselves. We'll do it in manual just to see if it makes a difference. So let's go and get some of those vocal samples here. Yeah, that could be good. Let's just put that in. Let's unmute the track. So let's just, I'm just going to sample myself doing a bit of this silliness for a bit. So increase the gain a little bit, maybe. That'll do. So that's got some nice sort of stops. The nice thing about the manual is that it will just come to a stop eventually. Which is kind of quite nice. All right, let's go and look at that what we just did. Wow, look at that curve on the end there. Woo, that's nice. That's when it just stops being audio and just becomes pure signals. Let's slice this one. Again, this one's got sort of just a reasonable amount of transient, so we could just slice this to transients. Let's do the same thing here. Slice to MIDI track, slice to sampler, slice to transient, 76 slices. Wow, okay. Let's see what that one's like. And then we'll just do the same thing. We'll take a copy of that clip, put that there. Let's put it in our scratch group and go and get the same audio, the same MIDI effects here. Sometimes it's quite hard to annotate what I'm doing. I just want to do it rather than just explain. But otherwise it's not really appropriate. Oh, that one's still going. Let's turn that off. Mute that. Okay. Ah, we didn't put them into forwards, backwards looping. Oh, did I do that on the other one? Did I do that on this one? No, I did not. All right, that's important. And that's kind of quite essential. So let's put this one into forwards, backwards looping. And let's put this one into forwards, backwards looping as well. That's important. I want that to happen. And then again, let's do the same automation for the arpeggiator rate. Let's, oh, I'm slightly lost. What happened? Okay, underlinked. Let's say it's just over 2 bars. Go to the pen, put a point in there, and then draw like some 8th notes here. Maybe some 1/6 here. 32nd note there, another 8th note there, and maybe one more there. I was a bit aggressive with the high passing. Oh, it's really crunchy in places. Nice bit of sample grunge. It's somewhere between scratching, sampling, and cats and dogs not living together. That'll do. That's enough silliness for one day. So there you go. If you don't have Max for Live and you want to do this, you kind of don't really need to use this device. You can just scratch the sounds wherever you want. One way that I tried to do it was to just use a delay line. So if we go and if we just solo this drum beat here and then go and get just a regular delay, put that on there. Turn the feedback down and the dry wet all the way up. Turn the filter off. Set this to repitch. Turn sync off. You can sort of just wiggle around it like that, and then resample yourself doing that, and do the same thing. Chop it up. Trigger the samples. Kind of works the same way. You can sort of nearly get it to a dead stop. If you sort of start at 1 millisecond and then just sort of slowly go down to 5 seconds. Yeah, you can sort of nearly get those stops. Very nice. All right, I'll leave that there. Okay, so I'm going to go and put this on Patreon now. You'll be able to get this and this device as well if you want to play around with this. And also you can get access to loads and loads and loads of Ableton sets going back nearly 10 years. It's mad. And your support is greatly appreciated and goes towards making me more videos like this, which I hope you enjoy. Give me a thumbs, give me a comment, give me a whatever your other things do, or don't actually. If you've made it this far to the video, please leave a CD emoji in the comments. I just tried looking to see if there was a turntable or vinyl emoji. It appears there is not, unless you can find one and I missed it. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Have fun scratching samples. See you, bye.